Today is the 15th, and I am gonna go ahead and record my Where I'm At Now video. So, now that things are a little more caught up from the previous video about all the moving and all that stuff, I was able to successfully get my old doctor, and she was very kind and stuff when I was in Washington before, and she is actually, as part of her speciality or whatever, she does do gender stuff, so that worked out. I do have to drive quite a way to go see her, but it's worth it. She's already sent refills for me for my testosterone and stuff, and that's awesome. So I don't have to worry about that, and um, positive things moving forward with my health care anyway. Um, the girls are having a little harder time, but mine has been going smooth as butter so far. So I have an appointment to see her in September, toward the end of September, and hopefully then we can talk about, future and top surgery and bottom surgery and, all that stuff. But yeah, so far so good as far as the health concerns go and stuff like that. Really grateful for that. As far as like using the bathroom goes and stuff in public, still been using the men's room, doing great on that. Still haven't been misgendered in the couple of days it's been since I recorded by anybody in Washington. Still not having any issues or problems with that at all. I will say, when we got to Washington, one of the first things my girlfriend really wanted to do was make sure that I had some guy clothes. When we left New York, I got rid of almost all of my clothing. I had maybe like four shirts, a pair of shorts, some swim trunks, and a pair of jeans, and some underwear. Like, that was it. Like, I had no clothes. So she made it part of us moving here that I was going to have some clothes. So we got me like five or six shirts and like some dressier shorts, and then like more fun shorts. We got me some sweatpants that I really like, um, and they're very form fitting and stuff. So the girls like that because they say it shows off my ass really well. So whatever. I just like that they're comfortable and they feel very male fitting. The guy clothes, a lot of them basically come with pockets that more sit on the front of your thigh, and that's really really nice. Like, it doesn't accent hips or anything. Like, all of my clothes that I wear, it's just like straight lines down my torso, which is really really good. And it feels nice. Also, it feels more secure to have the pocket in the front, and obviously I get deep pockets now because I have guy clothes, and the pockets sit basically on the front of your thigh, so your stuff doesn't feel like it's jingling around everywhere. It's just resting on the front of your thigh. Um, so it's much better, like, feeling. I got male flip flops, and I even got a collared shirt, um, so that if I need to dress up a little bit, I have a collar, um, and it's nice feeling like I can just go grab whatever and not have to worry about looking through my stuff or whatever. Like, I don't even pay attention anymore. I just grab the first shirt that is on a hanger that I haven't worn yet this week or whatever. Because I smell so much, it was very important. Actually, I kept a bunch of socks, but I've been wearing them and then throwing them away because they are so stinky. Like, my male foot smells are getting more pronounced or whatever, and I wear girl socks, and the smell that permeates them socks is just awful. I wear guy socks. I can wear them for like 3 days without changing them, without getting stinky. I actually tested it. Um, they just breathe a lot more. Like, the girl socks are meant to be more like soft or cute or I don't even know what. I don't understand the difference, but I got some guy socks and they don't get that smell. I don't know, from my sweaty feet, I guess. So that was kind of actually important because the girls were like, "Golly, it smells." Um, so good changes there. My wardrobe fits me a lot better. Not just like fits my body shape or whatever, but fits my personality more. It fits me a lot better as far as like the person that I feel comfortable being and representing myself as and everything. And none of these t-shirts have like prints on them and stuff. Honestly, the majority of them are very simple, but they have like I've always liked the shirts that had the line across the top and the top was a different color or even just a slightly different color than the bottom. Or else I have this blue shirt that has a ring going around that has stripes going around here and around the top of the sleeve right there. The girls love that one. That's probably their favorite shirt I got out of the shirts. Um, I still only have like two or three long sleeve shirts, but I really like the ones that I have. They're the ones I got in New York and stuff, so it's fine. I'm not worried about that. And honestly, I wear shorts most of the time. I kind of run a little warm, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm pretty happy about the clothes that I do have, and I actually have enough boxer briefs now that I can wear them every single day of the week and not have to worry. So before I had six, now I have eight. So now I can wear one a day and have an extra one, for the next week. I do laundry every week pretty consistently, but sometimes stuff happens where you want to wait a little. Like yesterday, we went to hang out on the waterfront a little bit with my nephews and my brother and stuff, and we made tie-dye shirts while we were hanging out. And that means, picnic in the park and stuff, and then tie-dye on the grass, which was fun. But it made more sense to wait and do laundry today instead of on Fridays, which is when I usually do it. So, anyway, sometimes when the girls are having their period, we have a special sheet for that so that they don't mind getting stained and stuff like that. That's black, you know. And then we have our nicer silky ear sheets for the rest of the month. And, sometimes their period doesn't fall exactly on Friday when it ends and stuff like that. So, it's nice to have enough underwear that it's not too much of a threat. Whereas before, it was really important that I washed it exactly the same day every week. So, um, yeah, I have the acne issue just sort of maintained. I don't know a solution for it. There probably isn't one. I mean, it seems to happen to most trans guys, and then genetically, we kind of have a lot of acne when we're teenagers anyway. So, but I am using a special body wash for it and hoping for the best with that. But I do still use the men's wash for uh, the smells that come from my body, the Old Spice one. And then I actually found my shampoo, but it has Old Spice in it. And I haven't used it yet because I'm finishing off the almost gone bottle of shampoo I have first. But I'm excited because um, the girls really love the bear glove smell on me. It you know develops on me really well, and so this will hopefully help it linger a little bit because the girls really like that. And maybe if it lingers a little bit, that'll be fun and pleasant. um, but yeah, it's been pretty hot here, so I've been going through deodorant quite a bit, but whatever. It's nice weather. You can't really complain about it being nice weather. Um, been more focused on physical health. I haven't actually really been looking for a therapist too much. I know that that's an important thing and that I need to do that, but there's just still so much going on with the move that it's really not a top priority of mine at the moment. Um, I've, for the majority part, honestly, out of the three of us, been the most positive, um, and the most, like, grateful and happy about the move and about being here and stuff. And even though there's a lot of stressful stuff and things going on still, um, I genuinely do feel like there's so much to be grateful for and happy about. So it's a little weird being the least depressed one or whatever, the least psych issue having one. I don't know how you would want to say that. Um, so I'm not like in a giant rush, but I do realize, I don't want to get to the point where I'm desperate for a therapist because I've like totally dropped the ball or something. So, but we need to get a car still. We're still working on furniture. We're still working on getting, the girls again, their health care taken care of and them appointments scheduled and them refills for their meds and stuff like that. So there's like all these other stressful things that are a little more urgent. But it is on my list of things that I should do eventually. The name change thing, basically, I want to get all our other paperwork done and then do that so that at least everything's in a situated place. And a lot of stuff's being held up by the Social Security Administration and my wife having her SSI and stuff. It has been a nightmare trying to get them to accept that she has moved out of New York and to Washington State. Um, they found the letter we sent them over 2.5 weeks ago. They had never opened it. Apparently, when you send mail to SSA right now, they're so not put paying attention or something because of COVID that it just goes in a pile. They don't even open it. It just sits there in an unopened mail pile. Um, I, I, I mean, they're not seeing anyone in person unless it's by appointment. So you would think that they would have more time because mail is social distancing. Mail's not anything that involves being around other people. So no COVID worries checking the mail, but they apparently don't. So that's been a not fun thing to find out, but they said that it should be taken care of now, and we should be getting mail for her any second, which is important because she's out of refills. So she really, really needs to see a doctor and get her medication situated and stuff. My spouse has so many health issues. Um, it's nuts to me that we sent that and they just don't even open it. Like, and I feel bad for all the other people whose mail is just sitting there unopened too. Like, who knows how big this pile is? Like, craziness. Anyway, just other things going on. Um, I'm s- I'm pretty doubtful that I'll be able to get top surgery before the end of the year, even though I wish for it so very, very much. But I mean, I'm not even going to see my doctor and be able to start getting my labs done and things like that until the end of September. And it's like there's not much time left in the year at that point. And, you know, I don't know if she's going to want to do it when I haven't found a therapist yet. Even though I have a letter and even though I have a therapy history, which I did give to her, even though I already had the referral, like, I don't know if she's going to feel comfortable doing it if I don't have a therapist yet. So, um, everything with this move has just taken so much longer because of COVID 19. Like, when we moved to New York, the very next day after we got settled in and stuff and things were taken care of, as far as getting everything inside of that horrible little room, literally the next day I was able to drive to the DMV, drive to Social Security Administration office. And yeah, you have to stand in line for hours, and yes, it's long and tedious, but at least in the matter of a couple of days, all of your stuff's turned in, everything switched over, you know, your food stamps are switching, your healthcare is switching, your like just across the board things get switched over so much faster when you can just go and do it in person. This whole, situation where you can't go in person to all of this stuff has just made it hellish. Like, so awful. Anyway, the other thing that has me hesitating about my name change is the fact that they're not opening mail. Like, if that's what they do with her, what are they going to do with me and my name change? They probably don't think it's important at all. Like, hers is her health, her being able to see a doctor, and it's so unurgent to them. Imagine how unurgent my name change would be. Like, they obviously don't give a crap at all about helping people during the pandemic, um, to get their paperwork done. And I don't know if it's because they have so many other protocols that are in place or something that it's more time consuming to do their job or something, so they don't have time to open the mail. But literally, name change is 100%, you have to do it by mail. There is no other option. And if they're not opening the mail, then how in the world would I be able to do my name change? It's just the most frustrating situation. And supposedly I have 2 years with this court order before I have to supply any other kind of paperwork. But at the same time, is 2 years even going to be enough? Because people aren't wearing masks. People are literally getting like riotous about that they refuse to get a vaccine. And like, there was just a riot yesterday where there was a bunch of stabbings and crap. I mean, people got thrown out of a school board meeting because half the parents wanted the masks and were happy that there was a mask mandate, and then the other parents were threatening the lives of the parents who wanted the masks because they were so against it and had to be dragged out by the police. And the thing is they're so confused why the police aren't supporting them. But they're the ones who are like throwing massive tantrums and like creating giant scenes in public and acting like they're entitled to screaming and yelling at people and threatening their lives and threatening to harm them and brandishing weapons. So I don't know why they're surprised that they're the ones who are doing something illegal. Like, it makes no sense why they would be like they dropping their "oh, I'm so pro Blue Lives Matter" thing, and instead being like, "oh, the police are corrupt now and they've been, you know, turned against us," and blah blah. It's like nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And businesses are making mandates where, hey, we would like you to be vaccinated when you come to work so that we can try to, keep running our business and not have to be shut down. And they're like, "oh, yeah, that you can't tell me what to do, blah 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 blah." Well, the thing is you can't tell them what to do either. If that's the choice that they make, they have every right to do that as a functional business. You were mad about them not wanting to make like cakes for gay people, and now you are mad because they're exercising their right that before you were all for. You were all for them being able to decide who they wanted to serve or who they didn't want to serve, and now you're not all for them having the right to decide how they want their workplace to be or not be. It's it's their business. Like, you keep demanding freedoms and keep insisting that the government's trying to keep people from being free, but the only people who's trying to keep anyone from being free, as far as I can tell, is you. It's nuts. Anyway, the point is, it's really effing stuff up, and they don't give a crap about other people enough to wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance, and get a vaccine. Like, "oh, I'd take a bullet for my country. Oh, I'm such a patriot." But are you? You won't even get a shot in the arm, a little jab for your country. You won't even put on a mask for your country. So, are you really a patriot? Really? Because you're definitely not helping your community. You're not helping other people. And, it's just beyond me. I don't understand how people can have so much disregard for other people's suffering that they would refuse to help other people by doing something so mildly inconvenient. And there are people who can't get the vaccine, and they have to suffer because of the people who refuse to, and that sucks. And I mean, you have places like in Texas, the hospitals are so full in some parts of Texas that it's like if your child gets in a wreck, sorry, you're going to have to wait for them to die, or else for someone in a bed to die, and whoever dies first gets the bed, the other one. And still they refuse to get a vaccine. They're killing their own children to avoid getting a vaccine. And it's not just their children. They're killing other people's children because they won't get a vaccine. Like, it's ridiculous. People have been using masks to combat disease for literally millennia. Like, human beings have been using masks to, like, prevent illness for so far back in human history, and you act like it's something that some liberal person invented just a couple years ago. I don't understand that. You act like vaccines are something that was invented yesterday as a way to control people, when vaccines have been being used for so long, effectively. I don't get it. And the thing is even if your worst fear is true, and the government really has a little nanobot in that vaccine to track your movements, even if that was actually hypothetically true, why in the world would that be a reason enough not to help other people, not to get sick, not to suffer, not to die, not to have lifelong repercussions from an illness that you decided to spread? Why are you so like, oh, I'm not going to be a guinea pig for this vaccine for the government, but you're super willing to play Russian roulette with the Delta variant? There shouldn't even be variants, except you're so against taking the vaccine that this disease gets to just spread around and practice mutating. Like, it's ridiculously dumbfounding to me. Like, you act like you get to call yourself a Christian and then act in the most un-Christ-like manner. Like, Jesus absolutely would have got the vaccine. Because Jesus actually wanted to help people and heal people. Jesus spent all his time around the downtrodden, the minorities, and the people who were poor, who were suffering, who were sick, who were ridiculed, who were prostitutes or thieves or desperate. He didn't spend all his time around the, like, people who considered themselves to be oh so righteous. He actually didn't like those people. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And, like, at this point, following QAnon and the people who are murdering their own children with harpoon guns and stuff like that, like killing their kids because they're convinced that QAnon stuff told them that their kid has some horrible thing and stuff. It's just a death cult, as far as I can tell. It's a massive death cult, and they're trying to kill as many people as possible and themselves. Like, as far as I can tell, that is all it is. A massive death cult. Like, just filled with fear-mongering and anger and death. And pain. Intentional, willful causing of pain. And it's just, like, ruining it for, like, everybody. Anyway, I've gotten off on a tangent. Anyway, the point is because of COVID-19, a lot of stuff in my life is not good. Um, it's not going smoothly, as one would hope. Thankfully, our girlfriend really likes her new job. That's going well. We're getting to spend lots of time with family. That's going well. My trans stuff, parts of it seem to be going well. Not the name change. And hopefully the therapy thing will go well. But we're getting settled in. I have a full male wardrobe now. I mean, it's I still have a zillion less clothes than either of the girls. But, at least my entire wardrobe is all clothes that I would be comfortable wearing. None of it is leftovers of stuff that I felt bad throwing away or whatever. We donated all that and have replaced some of it or whatever. Although I've never had that many clothes. I don't know. I tend to wear my clothes um, over and over again. I'm not the kind of person who's like bothered by someone seeing me in the same shirt 2 times in a week or something. It's like I have so many shirts. It's better for the planet. Like to not be wasteful. I don't know. If I'm not actually going to wear it, I don't want to buy it. So that's how I feel. Um I would like to get back to exercising routinely, but right now my life is not very routine. So that's been a little complicated. My spouse has just needed tons of attention because of her health stuff, like just tons and tons, like it's constant. Um, Only reason I'm recording this right now is she was asleep when I started recording. Um, and then, again, all the stressful things with moving still are just there, but at least um, I'm exercising a couple of times a week. It's not very consistent. It's not always on the same days or anything like that. But I am trying to get a little exercise in. Um, my girlfriend and I, we take walks and then um, try to do something on the weekends that either involves walking or hiking or swimming or whatever. So I'm trying to do that. But yeah. As far as gaming goes, again, I quit WoW for anyone who didn't see the last video. I'm done, I think, with that game for the rest of my life, probably. The company is just... The game's not fun anymore, and the company is just awful, so I don't have any reason to play it. Um, I've been focusing more on Guild Wars 2 and BDO, um, quite a bit. I actually like am having a little bit of fun with the speculating about the expansion thing for the Guild Wars 2 stuff. And I still am playing my season character Corsair. I'm so far behind on season stuff, but whatever. I moved. I can't help it. As far as the future goes, I'm still gonna do my best about top surgery. I'm still hoping that maybe in like a month or two to pursue the name change thing, even though it's going to take a while and even though it's going to be difficult and a pain in the butt. Um, I'm hoping that there's some way that I can still do that. The biggest thing is I cannot give them my driver's license. I need to be able to drive, so and they don't open the mail, so it's not like anything would effectively happen anyway. Anyway, um, I just don't want to start working so hard about the name change stuff and then them just leave it in a pile on a desk or a shelf or whatever it is, in a mail bin, I don't know, and just do nothing. That would be pretty awful. Anyway, I really, really am hoping that top surgery, even if it's not by the end of the year, can be before like maybe February-ish, because I'm not going to heal up in time to like swim shirtless next summer and stuff like that if it doesn't happen before a certain amount of time. Like, I'm going to have still pretty red, pink scars if things don't progress somewhat better than they have been. Um, but right now, I feel like that can't be a priority. Right now, the priority has to be getting everyone's like functional health taken care of first, and unfortunately that's just been a bitch trying to get that done. It's been awful. Anyway, um I am struggling with some gender dysphoria, um, but I have been trying to comfort myself with that. At least the testosterone thing is going fine, and not going to have an interruption and stuff like that. I have been having the reddening of my facial hair. If only my mustache would redden up. It's still very, very, very blonde. Um, but at least, I've got this side fuzz going on that um, is developing color. So that's something. Because I've always had some side fuzz, but I feel like it's a little longer than it used to be. Like as it's been darkening, it's gotten a little longer, maybe. I got clippers that are new ones because I donated my old ones in New York. And my new clippers come with a lot more settings. My old ones, I only had four, and on this one, I have eight. And so I'm gonna maybe change up my haircut some. I did use them once since we've moved here, and um, I trimmed up my beard and stuff as well, but I need to go ahead and do that again. It's getting a little longer and stuff. Um, so I will be doing that. So if my haircut changes, don't worry about it. I did post a new picture of me to Facebook because my old one didn't have like any of this darkened facial fuzz and stuff like that on it, and that seems to be going okay and stuff. Um, in 3 days, I will be 8 months on testosterone, like real testosterone. Obviously, they started me in October on the dumb dose, but real dose of testosterone, 8 months, and that's exciting because I have not been able to record, so I've missed a couple of months on doing the whole hey, here's where I'm at thing. I guess I'm sort of doing that right now, but whatever. um, Things are moving forward and progressing, thankfully. The move is starting to be more of it behind us than ahead of us, and things are starting to settle in a little bit, which is good. I definitely am still uncomfortable with my height, and I'm definitely still uncomfortable with a lot of, physical attributes and things. But, I mean, at least we're moved, and at least, hopefully, in the next several months, it'll become more clear how long the timeline is on some of these things changing, because something that's helped me is having some sense of how temporary or not temporary things are in the past. So I really would like to know how temporary or not temporary, say, my chest is going to be weird like this. I feel like it's deformed, like, because I have not been shaving it, so I have a very hairy chest. But at the same time, you know, it is what it is. You have to figure things out. And that's all we're doing right now is figuring things out. And I feel like once things start to have some sort of guesstimate for how figured out they are, it will help me a lot. Anyway, oh, I said I was gonna do the voice thing, the hi, I'm Lil, this is me on T thing, this video, but I think I'll wait and do it on the 18th if I make a video then, because then that'll be my, hey, I'm actually 8 months on T video. Um, one of my nephews loves to play with my beard, like really, really loves to play with my beard. He actually told me yesterday that his three favorite people is one of his grandmas, his dad, and me. And I've never been on the list before. My spouse has been on the list, girlfriend's been on the list, but not me. So that was like, oh, it changes a lot. I might not be on the list for very long, but it's nice to be on it at all. um, But yeah, he likes to like sit on my lap and just talk to me about stuff that he's interested in, and play with my beard. He really really likes that. So cool. It's kind of nice. It was a little uncomfortable him just being a child. He's 7.5. He noticed that I was wearing something under my t-shirt, and he's like, "Are you wearing two shirts? Why are you wearing something else?" And I didn't want to have to explain why a man would be wearing a sports bra. So I was like, "Oh, well, what if we go swimming and I need another shirt?" And so then I didn't feel comfortable to swim. Also, they didn't have swim trunks, and I didn't really want to swim in front of them and them not be able to swim. So we just waded and splashed around in the water and stuff, threw rocks, that kind of thing. Buried our feet in the sand. Um, but yeah, it throws you off a little bit because he's to the point where he's just, accepting, and you don't want to give him a reason to not be accepting. And it shouldn't be a reason to not be accepting. I mean, there's guys who have moves, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I like being uncle. I don't want to have that be like uncle, like, a question mark after it. I just want it to be like straightforward. So, um, I don't know. Anyway, everything's not perfect, but where I'm at is still better than where I was, and does have potential to move forward and get, more better. So I have a lot of hope. Um, yeah, I have a lot of hope, and hopefully things will work out good and for good. Anyway, that's about where I'm at and where things are hopefully going. Hopefully, I will be recording on the 18th, and we'll be done with these whole, trying to get caught up with things, and just go back to normal, current thoughts, stuff like that.